Hello, welcome everybody.
Join Pikachu, Ash, and the gang. The Mandalorian is great in the new series, and let's check out what's new in the world of pop culture with your hosts John, Tim, and Quentin, and a podcast we call Rewind
and Reload.
I was gonna make some fun joke about the past 2 weeks, but unlike the past couple months, I feel like, we've had a pretty mild 2 weeks. There's been no GameStop, nothing fun.
I'll speak for yourself there, buddy.
NFTs are a thing? You want to make fun of NFTs?
Oh, dude, I almost bought Clowncore NFT, but I don't know what NFTs are, so I didn't.
I don't know what it stands for, but I know what it is.
I feel like people are just making shit up at this point.
I mean, that's basically what it is. Yes, people decided to make image blockchains, where you can tell that if an image is a quote-unquote original image, so it can't be copied, and they're worth quote-unquote collector money. So if you own an original blockchain gold rare Pepe, you'll be labeled a racist for no reason, and you'll have money, I guess.
Oh, well, actually, me and one of my friends were talking about it the other day, and I think we want to reclaim Pepe. So we've begun to we've started hoarding Pepes again.
Good. Take back Pepe's image.
That's what the creator wants, dude.
I know.
We're doing it for him.
Well,
but
then again,
I
sorry. I was just gonna say I've also seen people like saying, "Oh, if we don't like you, we'll make your art our NFT," and it's like, okay.
I don't know, dude. I really don't understand the internet anymore. Like, I thought I had a good grasp on things, but it's just evolved into this monster, and I can't keep up with it anymore.
I stopped trying a long time ago.
I still try.
I feel like if you want to keep your sanity, it's best to just...
yeah.
What's an NFT? I don't know.
As long as I can still Google things, I'm good. As long as YouTube and Google keep running, I'm all right. I'm all right.
That's all we need. I guess let's get into our weeks, since nationally there's been no fun. For me, my week was nothing. It was great. I started spring break today.
You also got stuck in an elevator.
Oh yeah, that did happen. That did happen.
It's good to know that you lived.
Yeah, so I never posted like an update on Snapchat, so I got a lot of messages. Like, a lot of people were like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I just didn't answer them.
So this is you coming out saying that you're okay.
Yeah. I have an
Some
elevator
people say
at my
he's
job.
still on that elevator at this day.
I wish. But no, yeah, so I pressed the up button and it started going up, and then it just stopped, and then the doors wouldn't open, so I had to call my manager, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in here." And I figured it'd be like, okay, whatever, just somebody on the outside has to press a button. No, I was in there for 25 minutes. It was...
Did the fire department have to come or anything?
No, well, like, they called people, but by the time I got out, nobody was there yet, so it was okay.
Oh, well, that's good.
But, so basically I got paid to be in an elevator.
For 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's not important.
Could you imagine your manager?
How's that any different than your bathroom breaks?
That's true.
Where you just sit in the stall on your phone, because I know you fucking do that, because everyone who's worked at where you work has done that shit.
Anybody who's worked anywhere has done that.
That's true.
That is a
that's like
goddamn
one of those
American.
things where you take up smoking if you're at a job you don't like, so you can get an extra break.
Hey, that's what I did at Burger King. I think Quentin was on that train too.
Yeah, dude. Was it a good decision? Probably not, but whatever.
I think my at-home poops take about, anywhere 2 to 5 minutes. At work, they're a solid 10 to 20. depending on if someone else walks in.
Oh, that's always the worst.
Yeah, because then you're like, do I wrap this up or do I wait it out? I
Wait it
usually
out.
wait it out.
I used to do that during lectures at school in the basement. And down in the engineering
tech
slash
building?
Yeah, in the tech building dungeon. And I would just do that during like a lecture I didn't want to sit during. And there's no Wi-Fi in that bathroom to begin with, so you got to have games on your phone.
There's
And,
oh, go
but if
ahead,
people would
sorry.
come in, I'd be like, oh no, they're gonna know that I'm just goofing off in here.
There was one time I took a shit, and one of my professors also came in to take a shit, and he was very loud.
Nice.
And I don't want to say his name. He's the director of the engineering department though at B&W now, so it was a good time. I couldn't really look at him the same way anymore.
Honestly, I think I like as like a artistic endeavor, I'm going to make like a field recordings album, but it's just gonna be like a male bathroom. Because I don't know if you guys have heard. I mean, obviously you've heard what goes on in there, but like these dudes be like dramatic. I don't know.
Well, now I have a question for you. If you're planning to do that, are you going to do it right now during COVID, or are you going to wait until COVID's over? Because I feel like you're going to get two very different sounds.
Oh, I'm gonna do one now. I'm gonna do one when COVID's over. I'm gonna do one a year from now.
Every year from now to it's like that documentary Boyhood, where you do it over the course of 20 years.
I'm impressed at that movie.
I don't know what that movie is. I'll be real.
It took them like 18, 20 years to do a whole movie because they used the same actor throughout the whole thing and like waited for him to grow up.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Okay.
It's just a waste of time.
I mean, it was an indie film, so they kind of like to waste time. Sometimes they're either bad or they.
What if
waste
halfway
time.
through the film? What if halfway through the film the kid was just like, you know what? No, this sucks. I'm 12 now. I don't want to do this.
I always thought, what would have happened if, like,
the kid died?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what if he would have died for some odd reason?
They probably would just scrap the project out of respect, John.
Well, but you figure
I mean, that's the most
what
likely
would have
solution.
happened if they did like 10 years, and then you have like half a movie? Like, would they? I wouldn't want to think about, I guess, what I would do with that movie at that point.
Well, so like you said, it's an indie movie, so it probably cost almost nothing other than like Ethan Hawke's fucking payday. So,
which that's probably not really that much anymore.
No, he kind of went down that road by himself.
So what about your guys' weeks?
I'll tell you about my week. I mean, it's pretty. I don't know. I had a pretty shitty couple weeks here. I'm looking for a new job because they decided to move my department to a different state. So no more playing Nintendo and Sega for this guy. Got to find a real job.
What are your thoughts on just starting a commune?
Now, this is interesting.
I have thought about it a lot. I have chickens. We have that started. So we could have eggs.
So I happen to know that there's a particular plot of land on the island of Guyana that we might be able to get on the cheap.
Honestly, we could just say fuck a job.
There's also a couple of plots of land out in California
with me.
that we might be able. Oh, that's true.
I mean,
Trying to think of where the Manson family lived. We might be able to get their ranch on the cheap.
Yeah, but I thought they converted that into like back into a movie set kind of deal. Or not a movie set, but like a tourist attraction.
I don't know.
Let's see. I'm on the Wikipedia page, but let's talk more about this commune.
Like I said, if you guys move in,
we can make it happen.
We have chickens, so we have eggs every day. Carly has this immaculate garden planned, so we'll have fresh stuff. So, well, we have to get new bees. Unfortunately,
you guys can get new bees, and then we'll have honey.
Unfortunately, our bees passed away over the harsh winter this year.
Oh, I thought you meant like today
Yeah,
when just
it was
decided
a
to
little-
snow for no fucking reason.
No. No.
I mean, really, yeah, we'd have the essentials.
Yeah, we could.
I know how to make bread.
I'm in with the law down here in Lacrosse.
We will become the law.
What? So, a wildfire destroyed the ranch back in 1970.
Really?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the ranch.
Didn't
That's
they rebuild
unfortunate.
it though?
Apparently, supposedly, but this
Because I
Wikipedia
thought
Yeah,
that they
but,
filmed part of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like on the site.
That's what it says. The supposed Span movie ranch is featured in 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The scenes for the movie were actually filmed in nearby Corriganville Park in Simi Valley, which is also a movie ranch. So
Are
I
you
guess they
aware of
lied.
the
Okay.
fuck? What did he say? The something story of the Manson's ranch.
No.
If it's replaced, is it still Manson's ranch?
Oh God, what is that
Are
from?
you talking?
Oh, I know what that's from.
I just think about the old thing, like the thing from WandaVision. With
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's what that
it's
was.
the boat. With the boat.
That's what that was. Yes.
Because
If
it like
you keep
triggered
replacing
something
pieces.
it
in the
triggered a
boat,
memory-
Is it the same boat?
in my head, and I was like, "What did I hear that from?" And then like I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, I was trying to remember the exact quote, but I wasn't right.
I can't remember
It's
the name of the boat, but yeah, I mean it's a real boat in a museum that they because of
The ship of Theseus.
yeah, because they gotta replace all this shit.
And then
Yeah, it's the same thing, but with Manson's ranch.
Vision has the real quote question mark Vision that says that blank ass look on his face and leaves.
It's like, alright, I'm out.
He has no emotions yet.
They threw an exception in his program when he had to go reset.
Oh my god. How was your week, Tim?
Fine. I've just been playing video games and did some deep introspection and realized some things about why I'm depressed. So that was fun. Not to
Well, at
drag
least
us
you
down
figured-
before we get into some
I mean, at
things.
least you figured it out.
I think
the
I did
first step is
anyway.
to kind of figure it out and then start working on it.
Yeah, we're getting
I feel
there.
ya.
We're getting there every day, so we'll get there eventually. So what do we got for news? We don't have anything written down, but John said he had some ideas in his brain.
Well, all right. So I got a few things here. I figure we just touch on them really. Avatar is the #1 grossing movie in the world again. I don't know if you guys saw
Is that
that.
how you said fuck Avatar?
How the fuck
on
did that
your
happen when that
Instagram
movie hasn't been
story?
released for?
It was released this weekend.
How was it released this weekend?
It was re-released this
It-
weekend
Why?
because James Cameron is a cock monkey.
Avatar's dumb.
Okay, so this is my point of view. I mean, I could be wrong. Someone could say I'm wrong, whatever. And I told Carly this. I can agree that Endgame maybe shouldn't be the highest grossing movie in the world, but Avatar definitely should not be. I think it is a very shitty movie.
Yeah, Avatar sucks.
I think it has a terrible plot. I think the CGI does not hold up since it's been made. And I think the only thing that people went out and were amazed by was it was one of the first 3D movies in the IMAX.
Name
How can you say
the villain from
from
Avatar.
The
Oh, God,
fucking
he's got
Marine dude.
He's got some really
What's his
really
name?
shitty name.
Nobody
Is
does.
it not something like? Is it not like Kilgore? Because I feel like they went to that level of
Oh. I mean, that sounds like it could be right.
Avatar
see.
cast.
You disproved my point. Some people might know his name.
No, I genuinely.
But 90%
have no
of the people
idea.
who watched
Okay,
it.
it was
Colonel
Colonel
Miles?
Miles Quartrich.
Okay, yeah, see,
Quaritch.
nobody knows.
How can
But,
me
okay,
and James
so
Cameron
back
think
to-
a lot
back-
alike, okay? we find these really roundabout ways to talk about societal problems, like CIA getting the African American communities addicted to crack cocaine, or the treatment from the Native Americans by the colonists.
But I feel like it wasn't even
didn't-
that. I feel like he just came up with that as an excuse to make it the plot. Something.
Yeah, he made the movie first and then was like, all right, this is what this
It's like,
means.
oh, you know what this reminds me of? White people taking native land. Which, like, don't get me wrong, fucked up. Super fucked up. But you don't have to do it with blue aliens and some dude that's a paraplegic that gets a body. Like,
not everything has to be a metaphor.
What's the name of the...
And like I said, I also Endgame had plenty of plot points that drug on and everything like that. And as much as I love the Marvel movies, I really don't think that should be number one either. But there are plenty of movies out there that should be number one and not Avatar.
I'm coming around because I kind of hate that there's an entire Wikipedia page that is just called Pandoran Biosphere. I feel like James Cameron wrote this Wikipedia page.
Probably. I just don't really I just don't think James Cameron is that amazing of a director.
It was unobtainium.
Yes.
Get out of here with this.
Yeah, what a dumb fucking name for something. Unobtainium.
Yeah, you go back and you watch it again and you're like, wow, this is terrible.
Ugh. I haven't watched it in a long time, but unobtainium just put a fucking nasty fucking taste in my mouth.
It's bad.
But yeah, so that's one thing. Like I said, I mean, you could agree with me, disagree with me, whatever. And I feel like the fandom between comic book people and sci-fi nerdy people, I'm sure, is split right now. And a lot of people think Avatar should be the best. And cinematically, I just think it's not a good movie.
I have a
really
question that maybe we can talk about for a couple minutes. How many, you guys know about con orgies, right?
No.
Did you say orgies?
Yeah.
No.
Where all these lonely nerds go to like Comic-Con and then arrange to have orgies
Oh.
and shit.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
furry
How many of them
orgies.
do you think looked like the orgies from Avatar after that movie came out?
Too many? Do you think people were like putting their
People were in
ponytails together
like
too?
blue body paint in their hotel rooms, like putting their ponytails together and fucking.
I think I quit.
Just bears some thinking about.
I think I quit this podcast.
I think it's just I think it's just something we need to
still-
think about as a society. Is how many blue Navi con orgies were there?
Why was it even a thing?
I
Why was that a scene? Why?
I don't know to suggest.
What was the purpose
I really
of it?
don't know. Part of me wants to say that James Cameron just doesn't understand what he's trying to like.
I think he goes. I don't know. I don't
want to be one of these fake woke
that
people
he
and
just
say
goes
it's like
by
offensive,
the seat of his pants.
but like, I don't know. I just think he doesn't understand what he's doing. What other movie? He made that bad Titanic movie too, right? The highly successful Titanic movie that I think is trash.
I like that movie.
He made T2 Judgment Day.
Okay.
T2 was okay. I think. I don't really know. I'm not an expert on Terminator.
T2 is There's a lot of. I just feel like James Cameron's movies are kind of in the same vein as like M. Night Shyamalan movies, where they're, if you start watching them like in depth, there's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of things that don't make 100% sense.
You know what else? There's a lot of
that
plot holes
bother
in?
you.
Not to segue us away from James Cameron, because James Cameron does what James Cameron does because James Cameron can.
I mean, it's him. He goes deep sea diving or deep submarine diving, and
I could
run
go
away
on
from
about that.
everyone.
But I was going to talk about how this Thursday, as of recording, the Schneider Cut, baby.
I was actually, that's my next segue. Actually, was
Okay.
that? So
society.
that's
I've been
perfect.
debating. I've been debating on whether I want to go try to do the watch party that has Zack Snyder in it.
No.
Because I don't know if I want to put up with his like preachy kind of. I don't know what the word is.
I want to.
Snobby.
Yeah. I want to say that I've seen a few people, because like people have gotten like first look kind of thing, like critics and shit. And there was one I was reading that I follow that said that it's not really a better movie than they had before. It's just longer.
A movie.
It's longer, and that there's more of the plot holes that were in the first movie are explained, but it's not necessarily better. And there's a lot of dragging points. Like there's a lot of fat to the movie because it's 4 hours long.
Yeah. So one of my favorite reviews. One of the favorite reviews I've seen is and I'm paraphrasing here, but it was something pretty short, succinct. It was just better than the first attempt.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's not saying much.
I've heard overall people enjoyed it more than the Whedon cut, but that's like saying that I can't even think of an analogy.
That's like saying I don't know.
It's like saying that Pearl Harbor is better than the Holocaust.
I thought you were gonna say the movie. I didn't know it was gonna be. I didn't know there was better cuts.
It just is slightly less of a body count.
That's like saying Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith is better than Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace. Even though that's true. I should have said it the other way around.
I like Phantom Menace more.
Did you know, guys? I think I talked to Quentin about this week. And I'm not trying to devalue this, but you guys know how that kid went on a real high downward spiral?
Oh yeah, he didn't want any. He said that working and doing a Star Wars movie like ruined his life.
Well, I think his life may have been ruined by his brain, because
I read into it a little bit more, and
like I said, I'm not trying to make light of anything, but I recently was on his Wikipedia page, and it talked about how like in 2020 his family was like, "Yo, no, he's officially been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia," and I was like, "Oh no."
Damn. No, I know I did see like an article, like it was probably like 5 or 10 years after he did the Phantom Menace, maybe 5 years after he did the Phantom Menace, and he came out and said that it did, like he got bullied a lot for being in a movie that young, which a lot of child actors that stay in public schools do. Like that was one of the things, the articles, like that is a common thing that happens. But like he regretted ever being in Star Wars or show business at all.
I mean, apparently he briefly lived in Indiana, because it says there was a situation where police were involved. That's all I'll say. I won't go into it. If you want to look it up, look it up.
Hey, who hasn't had a situation in Indiana where the cops have been called a few?
Me personally.
You personally, I mean,
yes,
I have many times. I think Quentin was over a few times when that happened.
I've definitely been places. Yeah. No, I haven't. That's a lie. I'm good.
Were you not over that one time that the cops were called because my mom was beating the shit out of my dad? Or was that Lucas?
I don't know. I
don't remember.
I don't get involved with the police. They don't. I'm a good guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm a good kid.
A skate rat. That's a good kid. Okay.
I'm a good guy.
Billie Eilish is gonna make a song just for you. It's just gonna be like, "I'm a good guy," and it's just gonna be your face.
Yeah, no.
What a good joke. We're 25 minutes in. Can we segue to our topic?
Wait.
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, we can.
Here's a funny joke that'll segue
just one
us.
thing.
I'm gonna cryogenically freeze myself until they release all the Avatar movies, so I can marathon them.
I hate you so much. Also, stay tuned for Friday because Falcon and Winter Soldier come out, and that's all. I'm excited for it. And now we can get into our topic.
So we were just talking about something a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is not either of those. It is in the future and in our galaxy. The classic Futurama. I feel like this is probably a show most people grew up with. I know a lot of people say it's like the best Matt Groening cartoon.
Can we get a list of Matt Groening cartoons? Because I only know 3 of them.
The Simpsons.
This, and then Disenchantment.
Disenchantment.
That's it, right?
I would say Disenchantment for me is giving it, if it can keep up its momentum, could be similar, but I think Futurama is definitely better still.
I would
By far.
of the 3, Futurama's my favorite. So
Yes. I think Simpsons just went too long.
yep, much like the song from the band we talked about last week, right? Too long.
Too long.
The ending track from the 2001 album Discover by Daft Punk. I think it was 2001. It was either 2001 or 2003. I don't care to look it up.
Look it up. So Futurama is an American science fiction animated sitcom created by Matt Groening that aired on Fox from March 28th, 1999 to August 10th, 2003.
The Box Company.
Yeah, and then it went to Comedy Central from March 23rd, 2008 to September 4th, 2013. And in between that, it was also on I think Adult Swim would play it.
I don't remember. That could very well be.
I want to say
yeah.
I feel like you're right. I feel like it was in the era where they were also doing Family Guy around that. It was like late night, Cartoon Network. I don't know if it was quite Adult Swim yet because there was that weird grace period.
It did air on Adult Swim until December 31st, 2007.
Because there was like that weird middle area that I remember where it was like Adult Swim, but it wasn't like, Hunger Teen Aquaforce or like any of those shows
My
where
favorite.
it was like, oh, fuck. Or, oh, fuck, what was that metal band one?
Death.
No, it was like an Metalocalypse, yeah.
Metalocalypse.
Yeah, because like that's like
the band was Death Clock.
Like that was like Adult Swim to me. It was like shows like that where they got really into it.
Metalocalypse is something else. So for Futurama, the series follows the adventures of slacker Philip J. Fry, who is cryogenically preserved for 1,000 years and is revived in the 31st century. Fry finds work at an interplanetary delivery company, working alongside the one-eyed Leela and the robot Bender, who I would say is probably my favorite character. I love Bender.
I like Bender, and I've also come to love the King and Disenchantment because it's the same guy. So.
I can't remember his name right now.
John
DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah. DiMaggio, yeah.
He's also
Drake the dog.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
There's actually an episode in one of the last seasons where Finn and Jake were in Futurama.
Yep. Yeah. I remember now. I just watched the last part of I just watched this all the way through, but it's been like a month since I finished the last episode, so a few things have gotten a little fuzzy.
Like your vision while you were watching it.
Yeah.
The series was envisioned by Groening in the mid-1990s while working on The Simpsons. He brought David X. Cohen aboard to develop storylines and characters to pitch the show to Fox. And then following its initial cancellation by Fox, Futurama began airing reruns. Reruns on Adult Swim, which that was from 2003 to 2007. It was revived that year as 4 direct-to-video films, the last of which was released in early 2009. Comedy Central entered into an agreement with 20th Century Fox Television to syndicate the existing episodes and air the films as 16 new half-hour episodes, constituting a 5th season. So they just turned the films into, like, episodes for the season.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because, like, the last part of the show is very, like, a linear plot that's playing.
I know he's talking. I think you're just talking specifically about Bender's Game and I don't remember the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was like Bender's Game, The Beast with the 1,000 Tentacles.
Backs.
Yeah.
And then
I guess not like
Bender's Big Score, The Beast with a Billion Backs, Bender's Game, and Into the Wild Green Yonder.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess not like the very last part of it, but yeah, my bad.
It's all good. So, Futurama received critical acclaim throughout its run and was nominated for 17 Annie Awards, winning 7. 12 Emmy Awards, winning 6 of those. It was nominated 4 times for a Writers Guild of America Award, winning for the episodes Godfellas and The Prisoner of Benda. It was nominated for a Nebula Award and received Environmental Media Awards for the episodes The Problems with the Popplers and the Futurama Holidays.
So the episode title that is a parody of a Star Trek episode, I believe, because I think it's Troubles with Tribbles.
The problems with Popplers. I still want to try Popplers.
Isn't it just poop?
No, it's little the little guys. They're like little beings, like eggs and like little larvae.
I'm thinking of how the one they're like
Are
I
you
can't
thinking
think of
about
his name.
slurm?
No, I'm thinking about
that's kind of poop.
how like rocket fuel is made of like the little secret not pet.
Nibbler.
Yeah,
it's Nibbler's like because it's like he poops dark matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, like the Popplers are. Oh my god, the Omicron.
The Popplers.
Persei-8s. Yeah, they're like the babies.
The Popplers just remind me of like little chicken, like chicken nuggets, I guess.
They remind me of popcorn chicken, and then every time I watch that episode, I want popcorn chicken.
Oh, okay, yeah, popcorn chicken.
I'm just gonna put this image in because I really love the expression on William Shatner's face. If you want context for that, look up the Wikipedia entry for the episode "The Trouble with Tribbles," and he just has this look of like, "Why am I on this show?"
That's his look throughout the entire series.
Yeah, and then it becomes because money.
He's either sexually abusing women or has this face.
True.
That's it.
So real quick, do you guys remember the Prisoner of Benda episode?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay, that is probably one of like easily the craziest writings of any episode. It's the one where everybody is like switching brains.
Oh, I do remember this episode now.
Oh, yeah. And they have to figure out the right way to switch everyone, right?
Yeah.
And they have to have the Harlem Globetrotters come in and help them.
Yeah, I thought that episode was absolutely fucking insane.
I do. I love that there's these shows like this, obviously The Simpsons, where it's like, oh, I see an episode title and that means nothing to me, but as soon as you tell me, oh, it was like, this is the kind of the overview of the plot, I was like, oh, okay, I remember that episode.
Yeah.
Apparently it's like a reference to an 1894 adventure novel.
Man, I wonder what Godfellas is a reference to.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
It's probably it, yeah.
Why did that?
Because
I did that
because
of all
when one of the
things.
when one of the kids asked like, "Oh, what's the symbolism of Aslan?" Someone just went, "God, fellas."
God, so yeah, see, duh, makes sense.
I feel really
lastly, so there's merchandise which includes a tie-in comic book series which I didn't know existed. Kind of want to see what that's all about.
I saw that when I was rewatching it, I was looking up things because I like to spoil things for myself, and I saw that, and I kind of want to get it. So if I get it, I will let you know, and we can read it.
Okay. There was
Every night
video
before bed.
games. Every night, tuck me in, read me Futurama.
It's a graphic novel.
Did you
And I
guys
have to
ever-
describe the panels to you.
Did you guys play the Futurama game?
I didn't.
I remember it was on the PS2.
I didn't know they had one.
I didn't play any TV games except for like Simpsons Hit and Run, if we're being honest.
Okay.
I watched a
That game was really
I
good.
watched a playthrough of Catwoman the other day.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
There's
But
a
go
game that was
on.
rushed out.
Fun fact about that video game: there was a hidden room with something ridiculous in it. I can't remember.
Oh, and it
what,
just got found
and-
like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. The game's been out for like over 10 years, 10, 15 years probably. Even longer than that. I don't know. And yeah, somebody like just figured out how to get in there, which is insane to me.
Jesus.
Calendars, clothes, and figurines were also made.
I had a calendar, a Futurama calendar at one point.
I want some figurines, honestly.
It's a literal giant glowing Easter egg.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. The Easter egg room. And in 2013, TV Guide ranked Futurama one of the top 60 greatest TV cartoons of all time.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why top 60? I feel like that's such like a random number.
Because
They
there was
always
too many
have weird
cartoons for
shit.
top 50.
I feel like
Like, there's just so many good ones.
They had to squeeze in
Can't
all.
pick
They had to
50.
squeeze in all those racist episodes of Looney Tunes.
they're gonna be the ones that are canceled next. Right now, it's Dr. Seuss, and
I don't
next
think
it's
Looney Tunes will. Is because if you watch old Looney Tunes, they have a disclaimer in the front where it's like these cartoons were made in a different time, and the vision, the kind of like what's expressed here isn't right. It never was, and but we decided to preserve it as they are.
Well, I feel like they just had like people need to have that mentality because like
Yeah.
with like the Dr. Seuss books.
Who are you gonna
books,
cancel? Everyone who made that show is dead.
Yeah, and like with the Dr. Seuss books, number one, they're all titles that I've like had hardly no one's ever heard of, and the other thing is like, how are we canceling that? But you can still go to fucking Barnes and Noble and buy Mein Kampf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
shit's like it's literature. Like, you have to realize this shit's been made in a different time, and that things are different now, and you have to take that shit, learn from it, and do better now. Write better now. Anyways.
Anyway, we're gonna dive a little bit into some of the development of the show, more of the early stuff. I really am a fan of the relationship Matt Groening has with Fox. Like, I feel like he just fucking hates them and they hate him. But it's like, we make each other so much money, type of deal. So
after
Fox-
the box episode, the box company episode, he definitely does not like them. Like,
Oh,
let's just throw
absolutely.
that out there.
So Fox ordered 13 episodes originally. Immediately after, however, Fox feared themes of the show were not suitable for the network, and Groening and Fox executives argued over whether the network would have any creative input into the show. With The Simpsons, the network has no input, which is why we see a bunch of Fox jokes all the time. So Fox was particularly disturbed by the concept of suicide boots.
Oh, I heard about that.
Dr. Zoidberg and Bender's antisocial behavior. I want to emphasize, literally all it said was Dr. Zoidberg. The entire concept of Dr. Zoidberg, Fox was like, yeah, we don't like this.
I think
They're not
we don't
really
like
a
this at
fan of
all.
like a vaguely. I guess he's not. His uncle definitely is like a vaguely Jewish crab person.
But Dr. Zoidberg, I feel like, is just there to kind of not like. Like, you always have to have that character where you kind of don't like them, and they just overly emphasize that Dr. Zoidberg is just terrible sometimes.
Well, they were, and I quote, particularly disturbed by him.
Why?
I
Is it the
don't
way his
know.
tentacle
That
mouth
episode-
moved?
They showed off that episode where he sheds his shell.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that's a gross one. Or the mating episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Or
a
the
lot of
episode where they
weird-
got Amelia Clark to be his girlfriend who can't smell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she gets the surgery done, and
Those,
she
yeah.
like loves the way he smells.
Then she went on to be the part of the worst season of Game of Thrones.
Oh, they grow up so
Through no
fast.
fault of her own. She was in the show season 1, but they really fucking killed her character. Like, well, figuratively and literally. Killed that character in season 8. Spoilers.
Oh, nice job. We haven't
guys.
covered it yet, Tim.
Fuck.
Wow, it's only been 3 years.
It's okay. So Groening explains, when they tried to give me notes on Futurama, I just said, no, we're not going to do this. We're doing it the way we did Simpsons, and they said, well, we don't do business that way anymore. And then he said, oh, well, that's the only way I do business. The episode I Roommate was produced to address Fox's concerns with the script written to their specifications. Fox strongly disliked the episode, but after negotiations, Groening received the same independence with Futurama. I'm trying to remember exactly what I Roommate
I think it's the episode
was.
where Fry moves in with Bender
That's what I'm assuming.
into that tiny little thing, and then he finds out that there's like a big apartment behind it that Bender doesn't use because he's a robot.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why didn't they like that?
Because Fox. See, now when we say that, we can say because Disney.
Oh,
Oh.
that fucking giant of a corporation.
That fucking.
I thought we had checks and
Devilish
balances in
beast.
America that people couldn't
Well.
run monopolies, but I guess
Well,
when you own them,
I hate to break it to you, but if we don't, and if people don't enforce those two things, nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck.
It's almost like
You know, people.
that's how laws as a concept work.
You know what people do give a fuck about though? Where the name Futurama comes from.
Ooh.
Comes from a pavilion at the 1939 New York World's Fair. Designed by Norman Bell Geddes, the Futurama Pavilion depicted how he imagined the world would look in 1959. Many other titles were considered for the series, including Aloha Mars, but they're not really on Mars that much, and also Doomsville, which Groening notes were resoundingly rejected by everyone concerned with it. Yeah, both those names suck. I feel like I've been saying that a lot
Mars.
tonight.
I can't believe that's like. I can't think of what that show would even be if they went with that. Like, it couldn't have been the same show.
Hawaiian Martians,
yeah,
It'd been
I
Mars
mean,
Needs
they really-
Moms, but 20 years early.
The only
Not
Martian
actually,
that's
like,
consistently in it is Amy.
Amy.
And then other than that, I mean, they're there maybe once a season.
I don't know.
What the
Doom.
fuck?
That's just one of the suggested names. It was a bad one.
I can see that they
Uh,
didn't. I'm sorry to skip ahead, but I just read your next bullet point, and I'll have a comment after you, you explain it.
It took approximately 6 to 9 months to produce an episode of Futurama, which is really fucking long.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's good to see that Matt Groening didn't learn anything from The Simpsons.
Yeah. You'd think he'd know what he was doing by this point, but nope. Yeah, so the long production times results in several episodes being worked on simultaneously, which is also, I feel like, pretty out of the norm.
I feel like you'd have really overworked animators.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Fox. I know it's a different like production company, but probably right.
So, next, we're gonna get into the writing of the show. I thought this is actually kind of interesting.
I read one of your bullet points, and yeah, it is.
The planning for each episode began with a table meeting of writers who discuss the plot ideas as a group. The writers are given index cards with plot points that they are required to use as the center of activity in each episode. A single staff writer wrote an outline and then produced a script. Once the first draft of the script was finished, the writers and executive producers called in the actors for a table read. After the script reading, the writers collaborated to rewrite the script as a group before sending it to the animation team. At this point, the voice recording was also started and the script was out of the writers' hands. But the interesting part is that the writing staff held 3 PhDs, 7 master's degrees, and cumulatively had more than 50 years at Harvard University. Series writer Patrick M. Verone stated, "We are easily the most overeducated cartoon writers in history."
Yeah.
I remember reading or hearing somewhere that like the reason behind that was all these people who were working on the show were just fucking nerds to begin with. And B, I remember hearing like Matt Groening was like, "Oh, I want everything to try and be as like scientifically accurate as possible."
Yeah. But that makes sense.
I don't know if that's a like like a thing I've heard that's just kind of been blown up and maybe not true, but
I've heard the scientifically like accurate part before, and I feel like now reading this, it also makes a lot of sense when they go to like Mars University. How much, I mean, it's obviously Mars University resembles a lot of what like pop culture views as Harvard. You know,
skull and bones.
Stuck up white people, snooty and shit. So like it makes a lot of sense reading this and hearing it. So
that's Yale, isn't it, with the skull and bones?
Yeah.
Yes. So now we got our voice actors. Futurama had 8 main cast members, along with like a guest roster of just absolute fucking celebrity bangers. Billy West performed the voices of Philip J. Fry, Professor Farnsworth, Dr. Zoidberg, Zap Brannigan, and a lot of other characters. West auditioned for just about every part, landing the roles of the Professor and Dr. Zoidberg. Although West read for Fry, his friend Charlie Schlatter was initially given the role of Fry. Due to a casting change, West was called back to audition again and was given the role. West claims that the voice of Fry is deliberately modeled on his own, so as to make it difficult for another person to replicate the voice. Dr. Zoidberg's voice was based on Lou Jacoby and George Jessel, who were both just like old actors. One of them was Canadian, I think.
Yeah, Lou Jacoby was a Canadian character actor.
Yeah, he is a Canadian star on the Walk of Canada fame, or whatever they call it.
Oh.
The character Zap Brannigan was originally created and intended to be performed by Phil Hartman. Hartman insisted on auditioning for the role and just nailed it, according to Groening. But due to Hartman's death, West was given the role. West states that his version of Zap Brannigan was an imitation of Hartman, and also modeled after a couple of big dumb announcers I knew. John DiMaggio performed the voice of the robot Bender, Bending Rodriguez, and other more minor characters. Bender was the most difficult character to cast, as the show's creators had not decided what a robot should sound like. DiMaggio originally auditioned for the role of Farnsworth, using the voice he uses to perform Bender, and also auditioned for Bender using a different voice. DiMaggio described Bender's voice as a combination of a sloppy drunk, Slim Pickens, and a character his college friend created named Charlie the Sausage Lover.
I love Bender's voice. It's so iconic.
Can you just imagine him as the professor?
Oh, God, no.
It'd be fucking ridiculous.
Because, like, the professor is just old, crotchety, smart, and nerdy all in a voice that's, and if you put Bender's voice behind him, I don't think it'd be the same show at all.
Probably not. And I feel like, yeah, Bender is perfect. Like, the voice that he does is just, like, perfect for Bender in a way.
It really is.
I don't really know how to describe it.
If someone built a robot and it had Bender's voice, I'd be like, yes, you nailed it. That's what a robot is.
This makes sense. Then we have Phil Lamar as Hermes' comrade, but also his son Dwight, Ethan Bubblegum Tate, and Reverend Preacherbot. Lauren Tom voices Amy Wong, and Tress McNeil voices Mom and various other characters. Maurice LaMarche voices Kiff Croker and several supporting characters. David Herman voiced Scruffy and various supporting characters. Scruffy. I like how, like, he, actually I have a little bit about that in a second, but Scruffy becomes, like, more of a main character.
I just love that he talks in third person all the time.
He had a really fucked up role in the brain switching episode too.
Oh yeah, because he fell in love with his mop bucket, right?
But it was Amy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. During seasons 1 through 4, LaMarche is billed as supporting cast, and Tom, Lamar, and Herman billed as guest stars, despite appearing in most episodes. LaMarche was promoted to main cast, and Tom, Lamar, and Herman to supporting cast in season 5, and promoted again to main cast in season 6.
Damn, that took a while.
In addition, right? I feel like they're in most episodes.
They all should have made, like, supporting cast at least in the first couple seasons.
In addition to the main cast, this is where things get spicy, I think. Frank Welker voiced Nibbler, and Kath Soucie voiced Cubert, and several supporting and minor characters. Like The Simpsons, many episodes of Futurama feature guest stars from a wide range of professions, including actors, entertainers, bands, musicians, and scientists. Many guest stars voice supporting characters, although many voice themselves, usually as their own head preserved in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
Recurring guest stars include Dawn Lewis as Hermes' wife,
LaBarbara.
Tom Kenny, fucking SpongeBob, and Ice King, and everybody else in the world. I feel like Tom Kenny is in every.
I still can't believe SpongeBob and Ice King are like the same.
And Fry's older brother.
Well, yeah, I just hate SpongeBob and love the other two characters.
Fair enough. SpongeBob can get a little, on the nerves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, a little too spicy for me.
We also have the main man, Dan Castellaneta. He plays, in Futurama, he plays a robot devil, but in The Simpsons, he's Grandpa.
Is that it?
And a bunch of other characters, actually. I forget how many people he plays in The Simpsons, but it's a lot.
I love Robot Devil. That's like one of my favorite.
He's definitely.
Man, I wonder who he is in The Simpsons.
Grandpa.
He's also Homer.
Oh my god,
and
silly.
And the GD in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
No way.
You don't know about that? They didn't get Robin Williams back for that in the
shit.
animated series for Aladdin.
I never realized that.
So they got Dan Castellaneta to do it instead.
Holy fuck, that's hilarious. Other guest stars include Al Gore and George Takei.
I love that Al Gore is Al Gore because they make him look like kind of a buffoon sometimes. And he just rolls with it. And George Takei too. I mean, he really rolls with the punches. I mean,
I really like the Star Trek episode they did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
about that.
There's like many Star the many Star Trek episodes, but the one in specific where they like get sent to the planet and everybody gets their bodies back.
And then they have to
He was pretty good.
ditch all their bodies.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
I do really like they had so many characters voice themselves, and I feel like anytime you had a celebrity, they made fun of themselves, which made it even better.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of who's the one
George
girl
Nixon.
from Baywatch?
George Nixon.
Pamela
Richard Nixon.
Anderson.
Yeah, there was an episode with Pamela Anderson. So when Fry goes to his bank and it turns out his interest, he's like a billionaire, some crazy shit like that. And there's like the whole setup with Pamela Anderson, and she's just like, yeah, like very making fun of herself.
Doesn't Lucy Liu play herself too? And when he falls in love with that robot?
Yeah.
Because that was
the Lucy Liu.
Yeah, the Lucy Liu bot. That was like one of my favorite episodes.
I remember, yeah, that one was very memorable to me as a child for some reason. I don't remember why it stuck out to me so much, but like
because of
it did.
Probably because of how emotional Fry was. Because he finally found love that wasn't Leela, because Leela was constantly turning him down at that point. And then it ended up being all a lie.
It was all
like it was kind of like, honestly, it was a depressing episode.
It was a fucked up episode. It was pretty, yeah. There was a lot of fucked up episodes. Though.
Yeah, there was a lot of episodes.
Futurama,
that definitely at the end, I was feeling some stuff. Like, I mean, I definitely teared up at the end.
Oh yeah, dude, that final episode is really good. I think they did it perfectly. Well, the funny thing is though, there's like 4 different endings to the series.
Really?
Yeah, I'll talk about that a little later, but I guess right now let's just talk about like our favorite stuff from the show.
Okay.
So, like our favorite characters or episodes or anything like that.
I mean, I feel like I
said,
kind of touched on some of my favorite characters already, so I'll let you guys go first, and then I'll reiterate.
I definitely already talked about Bender. Slurms McKenzie is another great character.
I wish he would have lasted longer.
Yeah, no, like there was really like a lot of potential for him, but they just killed him off.
Yeah, there was
in the Willy Wonka episode.
Yeah, that could have been a great thing, like great reoccurring character, and I don't think they saw it at the time. And I'm sure they probably looked back and were like, "Ah, man, we should have kept him around."
He could have been this series as Poochie.
Yeah. Poochie ended up being hated, though.
Exactly.
We would have loved Slurms.
Okay.
He was great, I tell you.
I don't know. Like it's very difficult for me to think of like recurring characters that I think are good, because there's
the Robot Devil.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mine's the Robot Devil. From the first episode that he's in to then constantly throughout, seeing him even just like for a split second, even if he doesn't say anything, I love it.
I might have muted myself in the middle of a sentence because I was fixing my mic stand, and if I did, oops. No, the Robot Devil's really good. Robot Santa's only in 1 episode, huh?
No, Robot Santa
is he a recurring character?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Especially towards the last couple seasons.
He definitely took a break for a little bit, but he's in more than 1 episode.
Yeah, those are ones that stick out. I'm trying to think of like favorite episodes, but you guys can go first before.
Yeah, I think I pretty much touched on my favorite episodes. Like the Slurms McKenzie episode, that one was a good one. I guess the dog episode, that's one like whenever you talk about Futurama, you gotta talk about Fry's dog.
I don't care how many times you see that episode, you always tear up at the end of that episode.
Was anybody else's minds fucking blown when they revealed how like Fry's dog got to be like in what is that called? It got like fossilized.
I don't remember how it happened.
So when Bender goes back in time.
Yeah. When he goes to blow up Fry, right?
Yeah. He blows up Fry's apartment, and then somehow the dog gets like mummified.
Yeah, in that spot.
Because of that. And I was just like, oh my god. Like, they did such a good job tying that all together.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an extended reference to like Hachiko, right?
I don't
Is that the right dog I'm thinking of? It's the dog that like it was a real dog that like waited for its owner at Shibuya Station in Japan.
Yeah.
And now there's like a statue of him there.
Oh, okay.
But his owner died, so
That makes
he never
sense.
came back.
Yeah.
We don't deserve dogs.
Oh no, they buried the dog and the guy together. Oh, I'm gonna cry now.
We're all gonna cry on the podcast, and people are just gonna be awkwardly like sitting there listening to us whimpering.
Just keep skipping 15 seconds ahead.
Yeah, they hit the 10-second button or 15-second button on Spotify. Like, are they done crying yet?
Fuck.
I'm good.
It's been 20 minutes.
An episode that stands out to me is the episode where Fryhead gets robot hands to play the holographic flute.
Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that one up too. That's a really good one. That's like the only one where the robot devil gets screwed over.
Yeah. That's not the one where he has a song, though. That's the episode where Bender gets sent to robot hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I start liking the Robot Devil, because I love the song. Like, I'm a sucker for like musical numbers in TV shows and just musicals in general. So whenever you throw a little song or a song and dance in something, I'm like, that's definitely my favorite. That's why I like Family Guy so much. Like, not so much the new episodes, but the older episodes when they would do, musical numbers.
Yeah, that Shapoopy bit, fucking correct. I'm kidding, it doesn't.
Then you would love mid-series Simpsons because there are so many musical numbers.
Yeah, there is. I forgot about those.
Overabundant. Yeah, dude. There's like a period in Simpsons where they just do one like every other episode. I'm like, okay, I get it. Stop.
And we're not talking about the episode where Simpson or Homer becomes a country music singer.
No, he becomes an opera singer.
He becomes a manager for a country music singer.
For Lurleen Lumpkin.
Yes. Who was
Colonel Homer, I think his name was.
I'm just trying to find
enough about Simpsons, sorry. So I mean, I guess if that's all we got for our favorites, you guys just want to move on to kind of, I guess, the end of Futurama, if you will.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something about just very quickly. I remembered another episode where Bender's like lost in space and a civilization forms on him.
Oh god, that one's a weird one, yeah.
And then like they end up like nuking each other.
Every time Bender tries to help, he just makes things worse for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of one. Also, the two episodes, the one where they go back in time and Fry becomes his own grandfather.
Oh yeah.
Oh, classic
episode right there. And then the other one where Bender starts stealing precious items throughout history and he just hides in the basement. Remember?
Oh, that was the one where he gets like controlled by
he gets controlled. Like, he doesn't do it on purpose, but like that's
after they find the time code on Friday.
Yeah, and they keep sending him back in time to like steal shit.
Is that not one of the movies?
Which Bender was the one. Yeah, that was one of the last movies. But like that one, dude, the writing on that one was fucking ridiculous too.
Yeah.
Bender was the one who put the time code on Fry's ass.
Dude, it was like a crazy...
But like, I don't even know how to explain that
It's
episode.
hard. You have to watch it, I feel like, because there's so many like
You have to watch it a couple
intertwining
times.
like stories that link in. It reminds me of like a Quentin Tarantino movie where like 12 different stories intertwine into one and it makes sense at the end.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good analogy.
Oh, the episode where Bender is that's Godfellas.
Oh, duh, that would make sense.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember titles. I'm no good at that.
Yeah, same. I couldn't tell you the episode.
I didn't know
names
either
of
until like
anything.
there was like a random offshoot on the Wikipedia article for like quote the God space entity, and I was like, what the fuck episode was that from? And then I read the episode description. I was like, oh, this is the one I was just talking about.
All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to the Fox cancellation now.
Bum bum bum.
Fuck Fox. Groening and Cohen wanted Futurama to be shown at 8:30 p.m. on Sunday following The Simpsons. Fox Network disagreed, opting instead to show 2 episodes in the Sunday night lineup before moving the show to a regular time slot on Tuesday. Beginning with its second broadcast season, Futurama was again placed in the 8:30 Sunday spot, but by mid-season the show was moved again, this time to 7 p.m. on Sunday, its third position in under a year.
So they keep
which is not good.
They just kept moving it to dead spots.
Yeah, they just kept flip-flopping it around.
Like they took it from prime time straight into just dead zones.
Yeah, so even by the 4th season, Futurama was still being aired erratically due to being regularly preempted by sporting events. It became difficult to predict when new episodes would air. And I fucking remember this.
Too.
I remember this as a child because Sundays Fox had animation domination, and it was always after football, and sometimes the games would go too long, and I would. Get
and sometimes,
pissed.
and you'd have to ask your parents, like, "Hey, can I just stay up to watch The Simpsons? Then I'm gonna go right to bed."
Yeah, dude.
I remember that shit.
Fuck you, Fox. Fuck you. This erratic schedule resulted in Fox not airing several episodes that had been produced for seasons 3 and 4, instead holding them over to a 5th broadcast season. According to Groening, Fox executives were not supporters of the show. Although Futurama was never officially canceled, midway through the production of the 4th season, Fox decided to stop buying episodes of Futurama, letting it go out of production before the fall 2003 lineup. It's basically fuck Fox.
So they didn't. Yeah, they pretty much were just like they just didn't answer
exactly
any of the text, the late night text.
They left
hey,
Groening red.
Yeah, they left him on red.
Exactly. Like they didn't like come out and say like, yeah, we're not.
They didn't break up with him.
Anymore. It's canceled. They're just kind of just like, yeah, we're cutting you off.
You're just like, hey,
no money.
The sex was nice, but can't. We're just gonna stop talking to you now.
It's okay. The nice new boyfriend Comedy Central comes in. Like 6 years later. In June 2009, 20th Century Fox Television announced that Comedy Central had picked up the show for 26 new half-hour episodes that began airing on June 24th, 2010. The returning writing crew was smaller than the original crew, and it was originally announced that main voice actors Wes DiMaggio and Seagal would return as well, but on July 17, 2009, it was announced that a casting notice was posted to replace the entire cast when 20th Century Fox Television would not meet their salary demands. The situation was later resolved, and the entire original voice cast returned for the new episodes. When Futurama aired June 24, 2010 on Comedy Central, it helped the network to its highest-rated night in 2010 and its highest-rated Thursday primetime in the network's history. In March 2011, it was announced that Futurama had been renewed for a 7th season, consisting of at least 26 episodes, scheduled to air in 2012 and 2013. The first episode of Season 7 premiered June 20th, 2012 on Comedy Central. And then, eventually we get to the Comedy Central cancellation. Unfortunate. Comedy Central announced in April 2013 that they would be airing the final episode, Meanwhile, on September 4th, 2013. The producers said that they are exploring options for the future of the series as they have many more stories to tell, but would gauge fan reaction to the news. In an August 2013 interview with Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Katie Sagal said regarding the series finale, "So I don't believe it. I just hold out hope for it because it has such a huge fan base. It's such a smart show, and why wouldn't somebody want to keep making that show? So that's my thought. I'm just in denial that it's over." Segal also mentioned during the interview that Matt Groening told her at Comic-Con that we'll find a place, and don't worry, it's not going to end. And this is going back to my one comment about the series having like 4 endings. Due to uncertain future of the series, there have been 4 designated series finales. The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings, which is the episode where Fry and the robot devil switch hands. Into the Wild Green Yonder, which was one of the movies, wasn't it?
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
It's
Into the Wild Green Yonder was a movie.
Yeah, I forget which one that was even about.
It was, what? I don't remember. Is this the one about the eco-feministas?
Oh, yeah. You're right. Overclockwise is the most fucking ridiculous episode. Maybe not ever, but it was fucking hilarious. Qbert overclocks Bender.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, water cools him and basically turns him into, like, the world's greatest gaming robot.
Yeah, he's dope as shit. And then
Bender basically just becomes God.
And then Fry has to go to him for help or something, doesn't he? To like save somebody.
Yeah, and
I can't remember the whole plot.
Yeah, it.
But I just remember the scene
what it was exactly,
where Fry goes in to talk to him, and he's like, "Where is Bender?" And then he turns around because Bender's talking to him, and his head's like this massive, like skyscraper circuit board kind of thing in a room.
Yeah, literally, Bender just becomes like the god of robots,
of everything at that point.
He can like control the universe. I would definitely recommend watching that. The episode, meanwhile, currently stands as the show's official series finale, which it was a good finale. I liked it. I think it tied things up well.
I think it definitely did 2 major things. It wrapped up the series if they want to be done, but it also left it very open if they wanted to continue. So they did two very important things for that show. And obviously, you know, it ended in 2013 and it's 2021. So I don't think we're going to get any more episodes, but you never know.
Netflix buys
You never know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the same boat as Katie Sagal, and I'm going to keep thinking, hey,
just keep
maybe. I also love Katie Sagal too. Love everything she's in except for Married with Children.
Not a Married with Children guy.
I think if I was maybe more sexist,
I thought you were going to say more of a boomer, but that's kind of the
and
same
more
thing, right?
and more of a boomer.
I
think if I was born in the generation that our parents were, yeah, I'm sure I probably would have liked it, but I wasn't. So no, there's a lot of things that you know what? I think the biggest problem I have with that show is that the people are too stupid. They're too dumb. It's unrealistic. I know they're supposed to be that way, but it's like, they got to be smart every fucking once in a while, guys.
But isn't that the appeal of a show like That 70s Show?
But they were even smart every once in a while. And if they
That's
weren't,
true.
you could blame it on weed or incense. Whatever you wanted to blame it on. There was no blame in Married with Children. They were just dumb.
That's fair. I mean, I can't even say that. I was gonna make a joke about Malcolm in the Middle and how everyone in the show's dumb except for Malcolm. But even like other characters have like deeply introspective and like other things about them.
Every character is good in Malcolm in the
Like that episode where Hal has something happen and him and Lois can't have sex for 2 weeks and he gets so much done around the house.
That's good.
And then at the end of the episode, everything's back downhill.
Yo, is Malcolm in the Middle on Hulu or anything?
Yes, I think it's on Hulu.
Oh my god!
Because I watched a
It's my
lot of
next
it
show.
recently, like within the last year. I think it's on Hulu. Apparently, it's on Prime.
It's gonna be the next one I watch. That's gonna be the next one, baby. Let's go.
I'm looking through the videography, I guess, or the career of Katie Sagal, because wasn't she in a Disney movie with a smart house?
That movie's called Robot Mom.
No, it's not.
Oh wait, no, that's
Smart
not, you're
House.
Right. It is Smart House.
Yes, that was
What's
a
the movie
fucking
Robot
banger.
Mom? Who's in that?
That was a banger of a movie.
Dude, Google's not being cooperative right now. Okay, I get a weird... Not this... Oh. I type in Robot Mom Disney movie and I get Smart House. Why did I think it was called Robot Mom?
I don't know.
It's
Is there
because
a
there
movie
is a
called
robot in that movie.
Mom?
There's they put her into a robot in this movie. I know for a fact they do. Why is it called Smart House then? Call it Robot Mom.
Because it's a smart house. She's not a robot.
She's in a
No, she's
by
a hologram.
They don't put her in a body?
No, they never. She never.
Then how does she
gets
how does she do
materialized.
things?
She's a smart house.
Fucking hate this movie.
She doesn't materialize until like the last fucking 15 minutes of the movie. The whole time it's just her voice. We're gonna watch this movie because I feel like you don't remember enough of it.
I don't, and I hate it. I hate that it's directed by LeVar Burton. I hate everything.
I didn't realize it was a Burton movie.
I love LeVar Burton. I hate this fucking movie.
Well,
I'm kind of crying right now.
should we go into the wrap up on that?
Yeah, sure. We can call that our wrap up rant.
You can find me on Twitter at Gondola Driver. I think that's the only place you can find me. Yeah.
Oh, this is John's old social media.
It. I'm also a professional Twitch streamer. I do cooking streams.
This is true.
Yeah. I made a baked ziti last night.
Did you really?
If I get
check out my Twitch.
If I get on Twitch later and look you up and you
what is it?
Do that?
No, you're plugging your You're telling us this. You have to give us your Twitch if you actually did this.
Yeah.
I think my Twitch is just Boxwine69.
Did you do what you said you did?
You'll just have to check.
Is it Boxwine6969?
Maybe.
Because if it is, I can't find any. It's just a blank profile. I assume that. I don't think this is you. About Boxwine6969, Boxwine6969 streams NBA 2K20.
Okay, no, I'm just Boxwine69.
I'm not finding that user. But I'll take your word for it. You can find me on Letterboxd and read my... I haven't written a movie review in a hot minute. But you can find me on there at Timmy C, and everything else is Hot Pink Waffles. Not to be confused with Hot Pink Waffle, which used to be, I don't know if it still is, a, let's say, adult cam actress. For a very brief period of time, I did receive unsolicited dick pics meant for her.
Did you really?
Yes. I thought it was the funniest thing ever because I would respond to them with my fucking chubby bearded face and be like, because they would send a pic, like a dick pic. It's like, "What's up, baby?" And I'd be like, "Not much. What about you?"
I really thought you were gonna say something else.
Nah, I didn't reply with my own cock.
I thought you were like, I thought you were gonna say I replied with my
That'd be funny,
cock.
but I was too old for that. I was too. That wasn't that period of time where I would have done that. Now, maybe today I might.
Today, or when you were like a horny 14-year-old?
I don't think I would have done it as a
middle.
14-year-old because I like. Even then, I knew that if you got like someone, you could get in trouble for like distribution, even if it was you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you can find me at I ended up okay, so two things. I changed my tag for everything to JMergs. So you can look that up. It's easier. So you don't have to, spell my name because it sucks. And then our podcast socials, I got everything except for our email to be Rewind Reload. So go find us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm working on the YouTube stuff right now. We finally got our prints.
We can find us on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn next week.
What was that? What's that one? We definitely wouldn't be on, but I'm gonna make the joke anyway. I want to say Poplar now, but that's not it.
No.
What's it like? What was that far right like?
Oh, Parlor.
Oh, we should make an account.
I don't think that website's up anymore.
We should make an account on the Lemon Party.
Shut the fuck up.
I kind of want to my dad listens to this, so I just want him to look up the Lemon Party and go to
I'm sure there was a point sorry, I'm on Parlor trying to find out if this is still a website. It like did a weird redirection, but I'm sure there was a point in time where he heard us reacting to that site.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sure. But yeah, so to reiterate, go find us on Instagram, Twitter, all that. Yeah, we got a bunch of shit coming out, so we will keep you updated on those social medias.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye and good night.
I feel like when we do our goodbye kisses, I'm actually kissing you guys goodnight.